So my son comes home yesterday in different pants than he went to school in. And my wife's getting him out of the car and is like, hey, wait till you hear why your son had to change pants. I can't wait. So she gets him out of the car and say hello and everything. Some little kid was walking around daycare with his hand down his own pants.
Oh, no.
Let one rip, pulled his hand out, and then cleaned it off on Griffin's pants.
Wow. That's a new one. That's pretty intense.
Welcome to daycare.
And the kid's 2.5?
Yeah, they're all 2. Yeah. Young. He's a young 2, and then there's like up to 3.5, I think.
Well, it's okay. Kids grow up.
Yeah.
So eventually.
And we'll just, burn the pants and everything will be fine. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the FieldPulse Oh, wait. Sorry about that. Welcome, everybody, back to the radar. That's not it either. Field to Table. Mr. Ben Reed, welcome to the first episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. It's good to be sitting here with you. This is fun. We got a cool set.
Yes, we do.
This is the first time you and I have sat together. We definitely did not go through an episode already.
No.
And then trash it.
No. In fact, that would be kind of a waste of time to do that. So we didn't do that at all. This is completely raw, completely new.
That's right.
Yep. New team, new space. So Field to Table is our latest venture back into podcast world. Third time's a charm. So I'm Daniel Myers. I am the industry advisor, I think is my $5 title. And Mr. Ben Reed, what do you do here?
Yeah, I do a few things, mainly head of marketing.
Okay.
So I try to run the marketing department and ship and keep money coming into FieldPulse. So yeah.
All right.
So here we are. So why are we here, Daniel?
Well, we're here for a number of reasons. Number one, we need, a couple hours a week to just not work with our heads down. But we need a way to engage with our audience, to keep them in touch with our business. And we need to keep in touch with the industry for the businesses that we serve as customers. And podcasting is a very unique way to do that. And I don't know of any other format or venue that you can dive as deep into business related topics, personal related topics, whatever you need to, than a podcast.
Yeah. We're here to hang out. We're here to have some conversations, maybe have some fun, maybe not have some fun. I don't know. Kind of see where it goes. Yeah.
No real agenda. Kind of like Ben said, just see where it goes. And since this is a new show, we want to set some expectations for our audience that this will be released on Fridays. And if everyone will just search FieldPulse and search out on social media, we will keep everybody informed and up to date on podcast episodes that are coming out. Maybe some intros, clips, things you don't want to miss for the episode drop on Fridays. And I got to ask you, Ben, what's your version? I have my version, but what's your version of why we called it Field to Table?
Field to Table. I guess for me, it's got a lot of funny implications, which is always fun. But I think the big one is, our audience is field service companies primarily. So it's kind of a way from us to kind of get out of the work zone, out of the work mindset, and just to kind of coming home to the table. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of part of it. It's kind of like this, it kind of just encapsulates the spirit of the show. We're kind of like off work. We're kind of just chilling. We're no longer in the field. Then I think there's some other implications that I'll let you kind of talk through. But yeah, for me, it's more just about like the spirit of the show. It's not meant to be super professional. It's not meant to be super work related or super, we're a software company. We're probably not going to talk about software a whole lot. We are going to talk about the industry. We are going to talk about things you and I are interested in and like, and so kind of just a wide range of stuff. But what's it mean to you?
Well, when we came up with this concept of Field to Table and kind of off work hours, I couldn't help but think of the fact, and this is 100% true, that FieldPulse is the only gluten-free, paraben-free, soy-based, lactose-free,
Organic,
all organic, absolutely 100% all organic,
non-GMO.
Non-GMO, straight farm to table software company. That's just what we are. And it plays in perfectly. When we were in our roundtable discussion trying to pick a name, I thought, that's 100% true, that we are all of those things. So we are all things healthy for you and nothing bad for you. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it works for me.
That's perfect.
Cool.
That's who we are.
Yes. So one other thing I wanted to talk about was where we've been, what's happened, what's going on since our last podcast. And let's just take a few minutes and catch up on FieldPulse, the company. But then you also have some news for us since the last time we were on a podcast episode.
I do. Do I? What news do I have?
So let's start with Ben's news. Since the last time we had a podcast episode, you had a child.
Oh, a kid. Yeah. Yeah. that is news, I guess.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She's, Miss Eliza. She is now 6 months.
Okay.
So she's getting up there. She's almost crawling. She's doing that like, butt in the air, then like scooting, like oops, like kind of like the, like an inchworm. Yeah. Just kind of like scooting along. She's quick though. So you got to watch out for cords and
like carpet burn.
Yeah, potentially. She's typically wearing clothes, so that's good. But yeah, that's funny. I think the reason you're bringing it up is because people make fun of me at work sometimes because I forgot to tell everybody that my wife was pregnant. I guess that's important. So I think she was I
guess that's important.
She was like 7 months or something. Yes. And y'all found out. So
I'll fill everyone in quickly. This means that when Ben Reed started working at FieldPulse, your wife was pregnant, correct? Or not correct?
Oh, no, not correct.
Not correct. Okay, I'm sorry about that. All right. So, but soon after.
Because she was born in August, like the end of August, and I started in October.
Okay.
So a little bit.
All right. So not quite. Okay. My mistake. So congratulations, Ben.
Thank you.
And let's just touch lightly on FieldPulse and what's happened, our new set, our new building, our new team. We're growing like crazy. We finally hit 100 employees, which is kind of a milestone for the company. Everybody can look up and Google and search. We got our Series B investment round, which is very big, especially in this day and age for the economic scenario and the times that not everybody gets a big Series B round of funding.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, for those who are unaware of like the software landscape, it's pretty rare. Especially right now. I think coming off of COVID, there was a huge software boom. Every company was buying up software left, right, middle. And I think after the end of 2021, that COVID boom kind of came crashing down and we're kind of went to a dry spell. So yeah, a lot of software companies have had tons of layoffs. It's been a pretty tough economic environment. And so we've been super fortunate to kind of not have experienced any of that. Not only have we been growing, we got the Series B funding. I think just a quick look at FieldPulse specifically, we're in a pretty cool market because our audience, field service companies, we're kind of like economic proof. What's the word when you're like able to withstand, like you're always needed?
They are resilient.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody will always need plumbing and HVAC and electrical services. So regardless of like an economic downturn, you guys still have to work. Someone's got to turn the lights on, and
they still want to be able to flush toilets and take showers.
So we have that audience, and we're kind of always going to be needed. So we're fortunate.
Yeah, very fortunate. And it's been very cool to see. And I mean, enough can't be said. We don't want to beat a dead horse, but enough can't be said that you and I have only been here a little over a year, and the company has changed so much, so fast. It's really cool to be a part of it.
Yeah. Growing really fast, and definitely some growing pains, which come along with that. But we're here for the ride, man. So we'll hopefully in a year from now, we'll double again, 200 employees. And we'll be in a new set, probably new studio.
Yeah. Which we should talk about briefly. That we were in our office when we started, and then we moved, and now we're in a new space, and we're already outgrowing it. We're already at capacity, so we're already looking at new office space because we have to move. We're crammed in here pretty tight, so it's just another avenue or another metric to gauge. We really are growing fast because we already need new office space.
Yeah, we were in 3 different offices last year.
Yeah. So that's FieldPulse in a nutshell. Everybody's up to date on that. So what you want to talk about today, Ben?
That's a good question. I feel like first, since you brought up the kids thing, you brought up your kid having poopy pants. And
no, somebody else's poop on his pants.
Well, I mean, they're still poopy pants.
They're still poopy pants.
At the end of the day. You know what I mean? And my daughter being born, but you have another kid.
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old daughter.
I have more kids. So you have a 10-year-old. Uh-huh. How's that?
We are getting into the adolescent change, the adolescent time. She is starting to learn some lessons about friends and not always being best friends with everybody. And, kids do things that not always the nicest thing, but, we make it a point to talk to her about it and obviously walk her through it and try and look at it from the other person's point of view and that kind of thing. So one of her friends, similar to your family, one of her friends now has a brand new baby brother, and she already has 2 other sisters. So this particular friend is not always the nicest to her. And we're trying to help our daughter explain, like, she has a lot going on at home. So I'm sure there's a little bit of an outlet when she gets to school, and she's not always going to be a perfect friend like she even was 4 or 5 months ago. So there's that. But otherwise, those are good days and bad days like all kids have. And she's playing softball, and her team is they're monsters. They almost swept the season last year. They almost went undefeated. Nice. They lost 1 game on a technicality because they didn't have enough players, which is kind of dumb. They have to take an out every inning, which I thought was kind of dumb.
I don't know any baseball rules. That's the one where you hit the ball with
the stick.
With the big stick.
Yeah. With the round stick, not the big flat one. That's tennis. So 10-year-old, the 2-year-old, like I said, came home with poopy pants, not his poop, but still poopy pants. And he is all things boy. He is into trucks, into tractors. He does not like getting dirty, though. Oh my goodness. You would think he's being abused if he gets dirt on his shoes. He was I tried to get him out in the yard with me on the weekend, working in the garden and doing all the stuff I'm doing around the house. And it was an absolute knip shit. I mean, he just lost it.
So is it like one of those, he can't explain why? It's just like the feeling of being dirty and.
Oh, no, it wasn't even the feeling of it because the mud was on his shoes. And so everything was just gucky shoes. And it did not go well. That lasted all of about 7 minutes. And then he crawled back into the doggy door to go back inside.
Nice. Yeah. I've got a nephew who I think is like probably, I mean, he's 3 or 4 now, but, so it's kind of early to diagnose certain things, but I think he might kind of have either OCD or something along those lines. And yeah, if he gets any dirt or anything on him, he kind of freaks out and like has to clean it right away. And just one of those like quirks that I'm sure he'll grow out of potentially, but, it's kind of funny. Especially for a boy who's like always wants to play outside. And it's like, well, you're going to get dirty, dude. Like that's what it is out there.
Yeah, it's all dirt outside. There's grass and mulch too, but it's mostly dirt right now.
Cool. Yeah. So I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, girl and boy respectively. 5-year-old, she's awesome. She's kind of like the light of my world, not to be all sentimental and whatever, but no, she's great. She's the sweetest thing ever. She takes care of the other 2 kids and helps out around the house, and she's amazing. My 2-year-old son is also amazing, but getting into that kind of Hellraiser mode, which I'm sure you know. Our sons are actually basically the same age, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few months apart. Yeah,
pretty cool. But yeah, he's all things boy. He likes to pretend now and play with his older sister. So they're kind of like always running around the house fighting dragons or something. But
that's cool.
It's pretty cute watching him. But yeah, man, sometimes he's really into tools. So he'll have like his tool bag and walk around the house and fix things, which is like super cute. But then sometimes he fixes them a little too well, where he'll just like bang and bang and bang. And eventually they actually do need to be fixed.
Yeah.
And I've got to step in and fix it, or just hide it and don't tell mom, because sometimes he'll break something that's not fixable.
Oh.
And we got to figure out how to address that. So
hiding, it's definitely the best solution to that problem.
I think so. Yeah.
just hoping she forgets about it.
I mean, buying a new one before she notices and replacing
really?
it. Yeah. She has a lot of plants. My wife loves plants. So sometimes, he might try to fix the plant with his wrench. And the ceramic vase doesn't like that very much. Yeah.
You could, both of y'all could learn a new skill and do that. I think it's called gilding, where a pot cracks and then you fill it with gold. You fill the crack with gold.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Y'all could go get some pewter or something or some brass and melt it down and have a little smelting project out in the garage.
Yeah. Might not go with her theme having one, but that sounds kind of cool. Is that what it's called? Gilding?
I think that's what it's called.
Is that the same thing where you get like really nice marble and it has like gold?
Those are veins.
In the veins.
Yeah.
Is that natural, or do they put gold in there?
That's natural when it's in marble. Yeah. But
that's cool.
I believe it's a Japanese thing where if something breaks, that's how they fix it, is they make it more beautiful when they fix it. I thought that was always pretty cool. I only bring that up because we talked about it the other day when my daughter broke a pot, and she had seen that somehow, some way through some kind of thing that she was watching. I don't even know what it was. And I said, yeah, absolutely. We'll go get a furnace. We'll go get a coal bed, and we'll just go buy like 2 pounds of gold. Sure. Come on, kid. She catches on to sarcasm pretty good, so that helps.
Cool. What else is going on in your life currently?
Oh, my wife got a new company, a new job at a new company. So her company got bought by one of the biggest oil companies in the world. And for months we were, I don't want to say in turmoil around the house, because it was very clear from the beginning that if you get converted into an employee, you get a significant raise, or if you get let go by the company, you get a significant severance. So either way, it was going to be fine.
Win-win.
Yeah, win-win. There's really no bad way out of this. But for months, we didn't know. And that was driving us crazy. Like, just tell us. Like, let's just tell everybody, just come on. We have lives. We need to, if we're letting go, we need to go find another job. Everybody wants to know what's next, as much as you can, right? And so that was pretty, again, it wasn't a life or death situation, but it was just not knowing was kind of uncomfortable. And finally, recently, she figured out that, okay, we at least know that she's getting converted into the new company. So, okay, we'll take the raise. All right, that's cool. Chunk of change, severance page would have been fine too, but at least we know. So
that's nice. Well, congratulations to her.
Yep.
That's great. So same job, a new company. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. And getting paid more to do the same job.
Can't complain about that.
That's amazing.
So is she worried, or is she going to have a lot of, more like red tape? I know sometimes when you go from like our size, and if we got bought out by, a multi-billion-dollar company, we'd probably all quit because we'd be like, "What? You want me to do what before I do X, Y, Z? No, I'm out of here.
I can't just do it. Yeah,
I can't just come to work and do stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's been settled, and that was a big turning point in our life where now I'm a big planner. I'm a big, forecast kind of guy where I like to know kind of what's on the horizon. We planned vacations out months in advance, and it gives you time to think about things and plan things and find things to do on vacation and, do a lot of research and that kind of thing. We are having kids, but also just our nature. We're not the kind of people to just go on a whim and just go somewhere and do something. It's just not what we do. So now we can plan. Now we can plan on taking a vacation later. Now we can plan Christmas. We're going on a big family trip. So we're planning all that kind of stuff well in advance. And we know, like I said, with the job news now, like, okay, now we know when the vacation time that we need to put in to take off, and that kind of thing. So
you're planning a big trip for Christmas. Where are you going? We're
going to Asheville, North Carolina. It's where the Biltmore is. I mentioned it in the office one day, and everyone around me is like, "Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing! I can't wait for you to go." And I'd never heard of this place.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it, but apparently it's a big deal. Apparently it's really cool. So I'm excited.
Why is it a big deal?
There's the Biltmore there. There's all sorts of activities. There's all sorts of little things to take kids to do. It's just kind of a diamond in the rough. And at least here in Texas, North Carolina is not exactly like a destination state, for vacation. Everybody thinks of Florida or, the beaches in Alabama or, something, Mexico or, something around here, South Padre or whatever. But I just didn't know anything about it. And so once I mentioned it around here that we were thinking about this or planning it, apparently a lot of people have been. Apparently a lot of people love it. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. All right, cool.
Be there for a week.
All right. Well, I want to throw a curveball your way, a little topic of discussion.
Okay.
I figured episode 1, we should kind of bring in the field aspect, bring it to the table. So I want to get into some field service related discussions. And one of them I think is super important and very important to our audience, and it's what they deal with every day. Their technicians, admins, everybody's got to make this decision every single day. And we don't all face this every single day, but sometimes you get 2 hours of sleep. What's your drink of choice to help you get through the day? Is it Red Bull? Is it coffee?
It's got to be coffee.
Monster, Red Bull. I mean, a coffee for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I drank the energy drinks for a while, and they're okay, but I feel like there's so much caffeine in them. I start tweaking, like my fingers will start shaking or start feeling a little funny.
Yeah, coffee's got a lot of caffeine too, though.
It does, but to me, it's more
like the extra chemicals they got in them. They do have some other stuff in there.
Oh yeah, there's all the vitamins and I don't know, all the extra shit that they say is on the can.
Taurine or whatever that is. Yeah.
To me, it's just like I feel my eyeballs like gearing up. But coffee to me is more. Yes, there's caffeine in it, but it's more mellow, almost like it doesn't spike. Like drinking one of those energy drinks does.
But you came from the field. You worked those days, and I did too for a number of years. Coffee's not quite as easy to transport in your truck. It's not quite as easy to keep cool or whatever. So did you go hot coffee? Did you go iced coffee?
I have to drink iced coffee. I can't drink hot coffee anymore.
No. Yeah. Okay. Why is that?
The last time I drank hot coffee, my neck looked like I swallowed a football.
Like you had a reaction
Yeah.
to hot versus cold. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you just made up and something else happened.
No, no, I got coffee in the morning, and I mean, obviously when most people get coffee, but first thing in the morning, I got a gigantic big cup of coffee, and halfway through it, I started wheezing, and I felt like I was having an allergic reaction almost. I thought something was in the coffee. I thought the cup was dirty. I was kind of freaking out. So I quit what I was doing. Luckily, my doctor could fit me in right away. And I came in and I was convinced it was something allergic. And he said, no, something to do. And he has some kind of explanation. It was a long time ago. I don't remember. But my family has really bad stomach issues. We all have really bad acid issues, and one of my sisters has it really, really, really bad. But he said, yeah, it has to do with your stomach reacting to hot caffeine. You just need to try it cold. So he gave me this prescription to go to a compounding pharmacy and have this like basically Pepto-Bismol mixed up at a compounding pharmacy. And so I took the prescription, I went to the compounding pharmacy and handed it to the lady over the counter. And she said, yeah, come back, by the end of the day. And as I started talking to her about, I'd really appreciate getting this right now, her and the pharmacist and the little tech in the back all looked up and heard me hardly being able to breathe and hardly being able to talk. And they whipped it up for me in 5 minutes. And they got it all mixed up and put it in a big, huge medicine bottle. And they were giving me instructions on how much to take, and I just popped the top off and just
jeez. Nice.
So since that fateful day, I can only drink cold coffee.
So you've never had a sip of hot coffee since?
It's been well over 10 years.
Wow.
I'm afraid to. I'm afraid my neck will look like I swallowed a football again, and
that's
be
crazy.
Hard to breathe, and I can't talk. So
I love the taste of coffee so much, and I refuse to drink decaf just based on principle. Mm-hmm. I think it's stupid. But I love the taste of just like hot coffee. It's just so relaxing for me.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm too afraid to. I'll put it that way.
Would you ever try it again? Like you got a week off, you got 911 on speed dial.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I know that my doctor only has a half day of appointments filled, then I'll try it so I can get in right away again.
All right. Okay, well, back to the drink discussion. What do you think is the most popular drink in the field? Don't say water.
Well, I was going to say first is water, but that also
lame.
Disqualifies itself because it's also the most popular drink among humans. So we'll get rid of that one. I would say Gatorade's probably number 2. And then based on me stopping at gas stations in the morning, which guys in the field, I know that we're gas station people. And that's where we stop for stuff.
That's the best part of the day.
Yeah. Where we stop for stuff. I think Monster Energy Drinks has it on lockdown, has the trades industries on lockdown.
Yeah, I think it probably varies by trade. So we should do like a poll with our audience.
Yeah.
Like what industry you're in, what's your drink of choice. But yeah, no, I was doing landscaping for a while and it was like 99% Monster for sure. Everybody out there.
Yeah, when Monster came out with those gigantic cans with the screw top on it, I watched guys buy those 2 at a time in the mornings and just what? Good Lord.
I think there was a football coach. I don't know who this was. I want to say the coach of the Eagles. I don't know his name. I think he would do like 4 Monsters every game. Like 4 within like 2 hours.
How do you?
I don't know.
How does your brain survive?
Yeah, or your liver, or your heart.
Yeah, any other bodily function. I mean, your heart. Oh, Jesus.
I mean, it gets pumping.
I mean, I get if he's only doing it for game day. Okay, it's 1 day a week. They only play on Sundays or Saturday. 1 game a week.
Yeah, I don't know if that's every day. Then surely at a certain point, your body probably, I think your body learns and like it starts diluting the effects.
Oh, sure.
And I think it also just starts like stripping out all the stuff that doesn't even affect you anymore. It's like, you know what, this is too much. We're just going to like put that straight into your intestines and you're not going to get any of it.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine drinking that much. Oh.
Yeah, gross. Yeah, I feel like Gatorade's a good call. That's probably, especially in like the summer months when you're getting super sweaty. You got to get those electrolytes back, and caffeine's actually really bad for you. It dehydrates you. So yeah, Gatorade for sure. Yeah, in the summer months, doing landscaping, I used to drink like 2 gallons of water a day, which is insane. And that Gatorade, ooh, I felt good. That was always a highlight of the day. Yeah, Monster's probably the most popular. I got to shout out Red Bull, of course, sponsor of the show. My personal favorite. They're the best, undisputed. But all right, cool. So, but you're not a big energy drink guy.
No, like I said, I stick with coffee now, and which is funny because I literally grew up drinking coffee. My dad used to stop at 7-Eleven when we were on our way to elementary school. And as a joke, he would get my brother and I the little cups of coffee. And just my dad was that kind of guy. He would get a child amped up on caffeine and then drop you off at school and go have fun, boys, and just let us go. And we were just little crack addicts walking into elementary school, just tweaked out from 12 ounces
a shot of coffee.
12 ounces of coffee on the way to first grade.
Oh man, I'm sure your teachers loved your dad. Yeah.
And they loved me too. I spent a lot of time out in the hall.
Oh, I bet you did. I bet you did. Yeah. My kids always try to get coffee when I'm drinking. I'm like, nah, like someday, like I kind of want to see what happens if they drink a cup of coffee, just to like experiment, you know?
Yeah.
Probably not a good idea.
Not on the way to school. Definitely not. It makes them very unpopular with their teacher.
Yeah. But I don't want to deal with that at home.
No, but if you're going to do something like my daughter playing softball, she had 2 games last season that were like 7. We had to be there at 7:30, and I think the game started at 8 or 8:30. And and we told her this only because it's early in the morning and you're going to play a game, will we get coffee? Will I get you coffee? Before an activity where she's gonna need to be just, active and ramped up. And again, with being a 10-year-old and getting into that adolescent period, mornings are not her time. That's already started, where on the weekends she'll sleep until 10 or 11 sometimes.
I was about to ask, did the sleep hit her yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's always fascinating when because for people who don't know, when you have kids, they wake up every day, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever it is. Yeah. And that doesn't stop until, adolescence. Then it backfires. It's
kind of funny though with Aston though, with my daughter, is that she's always slept. When I first met my wife, my now wife, she was 2, and we would get her from daycare on the way home, and then she would sleep on the way home. She would just fall asleep in the car, car rides put her to sleep or whatever. And then she would sleep for like an hour. And I thought, this kid's going to be up all night. I mean, she was fine. She would wake up, eat dinner, hang out for a minute, and then go back to bed and sleep 12 hours.
Oh, that must be nice. Yeah, my kids are not that way. My kids, they take a nap after like 3 or 4, then we're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
at nighttime. So
then they're up till. That's my son. If he wakes up after 4 o'clock from a nap, then he's going to be up till 10. I mean, he's just going to be just all out,
wreaking havoc in the backyard.
Not in the backyard, in his playroom and his trucks, and
probably not nighttime. That's a good call.
Yeah,
there's owls. So we want to get the audience engaged to some extent, right? So I think if you go to our Facebook groups, facebook.com/FieldPulse FieldPulse official, I think is the link. You can get involved with the show. So ask questions, get your comments and feedback read on the show, maybe potentially. Depending
I'll read
on
it. If it's good enough, I'll read it.
Unless you just say we suck. I mean, we might still read that. That's kind of.
I would still interact with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, bring it on. We might do some polls with our audience. See what favorite drinks they have, etc. Important questions to ask. Outside of that, anything else we want to do with the audience, getting them involved with the show?
I think we'll just see what happens. I think we'll see what people want to do and feel them out. And, we want this to be interactive and we want engagement, but we also I don't want to force something or make something happen and it be contrived or fake or whatever. So, if any audience members have anything that they want us to talk about, or they think is important to them, or they think is important to their industry, changes they see coming, things they see happening, bring it up. Give us a note, drop us a comment, something, and I'm still connected to the trades industries via our customers. I'm kind of living vicariously through them now that I'm not, out owning my own business anymore. I'm not out in the field anymore. Yeah.
Just to get into that, you're very connected. So, I mean, you talk with customers almost every day. You kind of are you're our industry advisor technically. But you've got more than just that. Your role here, you do a lot. And so I think, whether it's sales or customer success teams or product, you're kind of always talking to customers, meeting with customers.
Yeah, I talk to a lot of people, and I try and talk to as many people as I can because I want to, again, kind of live vicariously through our customers since I'm not out in the field anymore. And there are days when I miss it, and there are days when I wish I could keep doing it. But I'm very passionate about it, and I always have been. I spent more than 20 years outside in construction doing all kinds of things. So that's the majority of my life of doing that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of who I am, and it's kind of what I do. I say it all the time. I don't know what I'm doing here.
So let's you brought it up. So let's go there a minute. Like, 5-10 minutes. What brought you to FieldPulse? Obviously you were in construction, you were in the trades, you've owned your own business, for what, 15, 20 years?
I own lots of businesses over 15 years. Almost 20 years. So, I'll give everybody the elevator pitch on who I am and why I'm here. I started mowing grass, trimming trees. Crate motors are kind of my specialty around the neighborhood when I was about 14, and kind of grew into fixing fences and then fixing front doors and then, fixing soffit and fascia. And then somebody needed their door worked on, and it just kind of grew and evolved and changed. And I had a couple of different people that own their own businesses doing home repairs and that kind of thing. And I went to work for them at various times and did lots of stuff. I went to welding school straight out of high school, and fun fact, I did so well at welding school, they wanted to hire me as an instructor, but I was making more money with a dumpster business I had at the time than they were willing to pay me to be a nighttime welding instructor. And so I said, no, no thanks, which I'm thankful that I made that decision, because that institute, it was American Trades Institute. They were one of the quote unquote trade schools that got busted, I'm pretty sure, by the FBI, if not the state of Texas and other entities. There was I think a cooking school that got busted, the same kind of thing. Basically, it was a scam. The whole thing was a scam. Now, the education I got was great. The instructors I had were fantastic. I learned so much about welding. I don't regret going there, but when I graduated, and again, the instructors were amazing. This is a little bit off topic, but there's no welding industry in Dallas. It's in Houston, which is terrible, or LA, which is even more terrible. And I kind of picked the wrong road there. So I knew I can weld though. And so anyway, so I did welding for a while. Gates, fences, the big access rolling gates. I did those for a long time. Also made a bunch of metal art and sold it at like these little community little art shows things, did all that kind of stuff. And then eventually general contracting businesses and working for my friends' general contracting businesses and doing whole home remodels where we basically knock down the house and build a new one, and did all of that. And then my last venture was a handyman business. I had a couple of changes in my life happen and decided I needed to tone it down a little bit. So I started a little handyman business. I had all the skills. I had all the tools. I started it for nothing because I didn't need to buy anything or do anything. So I got plugged into a network pretty quick around town and scaled it up and built it up very quickly. And I was using another software company to run my business. And when I got a financial coach for my handyman business to show me what to do with all this money I was making, he didn't recommend FieldPulse. However, he told me that the software I was using was not going to work for him to be able to give me the financial information I needed. And so I had to find something else. So I found just organic search is what we call it now. Just looking around, I found FieldPulse and I did a demo. I ran the demo by my financial coach and he agreed, yeah, this is great. This is the kind of information that I need to get numbers and get you information so we can make decisions. So
previously you were using a software that was more just like in the field job stuff, but it wasn't linking the full business picture for you.
No, it was not building the whole picture. It was just about managing the day-to-day operations, which is fine when you're a small business, but I was trying to grow. I was trying to go. And I'd also hired an electrician to come work with me and kind of start an electrical business. We were trying to get that going. It wasn't really working. So I came to a fateful lunch, if you can call it that, with Gabe, our CEO, Lauren, who's our director of customer success, a couple of other people who are no longer here. They've moved on to other companies. Good luck to them. And had a long lunch with them. And I had a lot of suggestions. I had a lot of ideas. I had a lot of things that I could tell using FieldPulse, both on the computer and on my phone. I could tell it was all there. I could tell it was built well. It just wasn't organized very well. And so we had a long discussion, a long lunch. Got Gabe's favorite pizza, which is Domino's, which I thought was hilarious. And about a year and a half later, here I am. People that don't work here anymore, stopped me at the door on the way out of lunch that day and said, "Hey, you don't run a business like most people run. You don't run a one-man business like most people run. And you don't talk and present yourself in a way like most people do. So what do you think about getting together and doing maybe some coaching or some media or something?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Anytime." And about a year later, didn't hear anything from them. And then, as I alluded to earlier, my body was done working that hard, that much. And I already had one shoulder worked on, and I was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel that I was kind of done using my body. So I needed to use my brain more. So I called Gabe up after about a year and a half or so and said, "Hey buddy, is that offer still on the table?" And here I am.
Here you are. Cool. Well, we're happy to have you. You're definitely a huge asset to FieldPulse. And just to kind of wrap up that whole idea and conversation. Yeah, Daniel he's always talking to customers, getting real, honest feedback. And that's kind of unique to FieldPulse. We're able to make interesting changes a lot easier than most companies. We're small enough still where we can pivot and be nimble and make improvements quickly. And so, yeah, I mean, you're constantly talking to customers. You're getting real in the field. information on how they operate their business, their workflows. And not only that, you also, let's say for a particular industry like HVAC, you're also able to see like the top 10 companies that are our customers who are doing it really, really well. And you're able to kind of show the other companies that we have that aren't quite optimizing their workflows and their business operations in those same ways. And you can kind of like link them together. And that's really cool. And so, yeah, you're a huge asset. We're glad you're here.
I just did that recently. Actually, I hooked up a contractor in Tampa who is one of the best customers that we have, not just income wise, not companies. He's not even one of the biggest. That's not what I'm saying. He's a great guy. He's a fantastic human being. He's built out his FieldPulse account amazingly. His price books are amazing. All of his customer tags, everything is built out to the nines. He takes full advantage of everything inside of FieldPulse. And I hooked him up through me with a small, you can call him a startup because it's two guys full-time and a part-time guy in Arizona. And he was wanting to do that. He was wanting to build out FieldPulse to the nines, to everything. And I said, well, I know just the guy for you. And not only has he built out his FieldPulse account like you want, he's also an amazing human. And he wants to share everything with everybody. So I called him up, hooked him up, and it was pretty cool. A little moment to be able to, hey, you aspire to be this thing. This guy is this thing. Y'all should talk.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That actually is a perfect encapsulation of like what we're going for. It's just like, yeah, we've got the software. We've got all the things you need. We've got the basics. It can do everything you need. But we're also like real people who really care about you and we want you to succeed. And we also want customers who also want that. We don't want terrible customers who are angry all the time and yell at people.
It makes our lives hell. We don't want bad customers.
Just like their own customers.
Just like y'all don't want bad customers.
Yeah. And so, like our Facebook community, it's kicking off and it's doing pretty well. And it's so cool to see like customers helping each other.
Yes.
In a very unique way. Obviously, we have an amazing, the best in the business support team. But it's even more special when like a customer is asking a very specific question to, plumbing in this location or geographic location. And we have a customer who's there too, and they can kind of talk and figure things out together. And that's really special. So.
Yeah. And I wanted to say, as no slight at all on our CS team, they don't know your business. They don't know how you operate your business. Our CS team are product experts. They are FieldPulse experts. They're not your business experts. And so you might have a question that seems like it's a FieldPulse question, and I'm able to uncover a lot of times that, oh no, this is not a FieldPulse. This is a business question. And so I can take over that conversation and kind of help our CS team understand the business side of it and where this customer is coming from. But, the CS people don't know your business. They don't know how you run your business. They don't know your market. They don't know your pricing. And they're not here to show you how to run your business. They're here to help you to teach you better and to fully optimize FieldPulse. They're product experts. And so I'm that translator. I'm that bridge for that gap for them. Yeah.
And I would say to a certain extent, I would argue they know their business and at least the industries a lot better than most teams.
Yes.
So I wouldn't go that far,
and
but like
I was talking about very specific, unique situations I've been involved in because it's on the top of my brain, because I've had those conversations recently where no one in FieldPulse can know your business that well. This is your business.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at a certain extent, like the buck stops with you and you got to figure out how your business is going to run. And
yes. they're looking for like a cheat code on how to it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. That's a whole nother topic. Yeah. Looking for cheat codes for businesses. Spoiler alert, there are none. It takes hard work and grit and determination and consistency. Yeah. That's something that's frustrating when people want to try out FieldPulse or any FSM software and like, oh, let me just try it out for 25 days and it didn't work. And like, that's not how it works. That's not what it takes. You got to invest the time to really learn it, integrate those operations and systems into your business, and then learn and continually improve that. You can't just do a free trial for 2 weeks and then like get it all figured out.
No, you're not going to. You're most of the time you're too busy running your business, running your life, doing, your dad chores or, your mom chores. You're not going to put the time in to invest, and then you're going to call it a loss, and you're going to say that, it's not going to, FieldPulse is not going to work for you. Well, what did you do? What did you put into it? How much time did you invest in it? I just can't figure it out. Well, that's what we are here for. That's what our onboarding people do. That's what our customer success people do, is they help you build a relationship with this piece of software that runs in the background of your business. And you hit the nail on the head when you said it was an investment. Yes, you have to invest the time up front to build out templates, to build out customer communications, to set all the triggers, to build your invoices and set all the settings and the estimates. You have to do all that up front so that the dividend of time savings pays off over months and years down the road. And it's hard to get people to understand that if they haven't experienced it before, of the serious time savings that adds up over the course of a month, over the course of a year. And again, getting back to my role and my personal experience, I've been able to tell people firsthand that, hey, setting up a template this way or setting up a customer communication trigger this way based on the job status or based on the invoice status, it saves you 2 or 3 minutes of having to do that manually. Oh, it's only 2 minutes. Yeah, it is only 2 minutes today, but you do that 5 times a day. That's 5 times, that's 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes that you can have to yourself to watch sports highlights or a YouTube video, or just take a break for 15 minutes and sit in your truck with air conditioning on. How nice would that be to just have a 15-minute break built into your day because you have this little thing on your phone that sends texts and emails for you? And then you compound that over a week, a month, a year.
Well, and over 15 to 25 to 100 technicians. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah. And you scale that at a size of business, like you said, a 20-man operation, then you're saving hours a day in just medial tasks of, and I've seen people do it, of taking a customer name or a phone number and having to cut and paste it out of something and put it in their text box and, on their text message on their phone, or call the office in order to call somebody, this and that kind of. No, but you don't get any of those savings, any of those benefits down the road if you don't invest the time at the beginning to set all the stuff up.
Yeah. And I just want to call out really quick. It's not just the black and white time savings either. Like whether your company and your technicians are using pen and paper or a software that they hate, which is common, you're also just making their life easier, which makes them more happy to be at work, which gives them a better attitude when they meet the customer, gives the customer a better customer experience, gives you more word of mouth referral. It's kind of this compounding effect that, yeah, it saves you 5 minutes, but for a business who's customer facing, who you need that high quality experience, I mean, when your technician is like frustrated and tired and they have to do, either paperwork or they have to use this crazy overcomplicated software that they don't even want to use, which is hilarious because that happens. They'll pay for the big softwares and not even use it. It makes their day harder. It makes them more frustrated, and that impacts the customer. That impacts your word of mouth and the growth and your margins. It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. It can be, and it's funny how it starts with the little things, and those little things are like seeds, and they can grow up and they can turn, you can plant a seed and turn into a flower, or you can plant a seed that turns into poison ivy.
Well, let's avoid the poison ivy.
Well, is that all the time we have for today?
I think that'll do it. I think that was a good first go.
Yes, sir.
It was fun to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, Ben. I really appreciate you.
All right.
Well, folks, See you on the next one. See y'all later.
Adios.
Deuces. Peace. Auf Wiedersehen. How many other ways can we say goodbye? Ciao.
No, not that one.